Hello everybody, it's me, your boy, man on the internet, Captain Bill, and this video is going to be just a basic, relaxing video where I just talk about random stuff. Yeah, basically, by the title of this video, what I'm gonna name it is I suck at jujitsu, or no, I'm suck at martial arts. So, spoilers from me accidentally saying the word jujitsu. Recently, I have been doing martial arts, specifically grappling, which specifically means jujitsu. And basically, I've only had 4 classes of jujitsu, and man, I can tell you, as a rank and file amateur, man, do I suck. Part of the reason why I decided to do jujitsu is because partially because of the virus, the pandemic, where the apocalypse occurred and everyone went insane. For 2 whole years or over 2 years, I've been kind of stuck at home, taking all my classes online and all that. So I have not been really active, less active than before because here's the thing. In the past, at least, I used to walk to school, and I would walk to school, walk back to school, and during lunch times, so that was actually a decent bit of walking. So, because I lived like 10 minutes away, and lunchtime you had over an hour and 15 minutes. So, you know, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes back, that's 20 minutes, plus the 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes afternoons. Of course, I didn't walk back home every day, like once every month, basically, but still, I did do that. But, at very least, I would walk to school and walk back, so that's, at least 20 minutes of walking, which, isn't exactly, athletic, but that's still a bit of exercise. As a kid, my parents and all that forced me to go outside and run around, played a lot of tag as a kid, got really into basketball and soccer, was even part of a Pee-wee after school soccer team. And for a long time, up to I think I was 15 or 16, I swam like 3 times a week. So, like uh, before the virus hit, I was actually pretty healthy, I'd say, Uh, I also did a lot of like taekwondo as a kid for like 4 years, 4 or 5 years straight. So, and then I stopped after I moved to a different city. I stopped doing martial arts, taekwondo, and then but I kept swimming. And my first year in high school. I can't think right now. Apparently, I can't multitask apparently. But yeah, during my first year of high school, gym class was a P or PE is the proper way to call it, is a mandatory thing, curriculum that you had to do with along with math and English and all history and all that. So I had no choice but to take PE class, and that would happen, every single day for 5 days a week. There was yeah, during at least the first 14 years of my life, I was pretty active. I did exercises and all that. And then, after the virus hit and the pandemic turned everyone into hermits, I became an even more of a shut-in than I used to be, and I did not go out much at all. I mean, occasionally I did like push-ups and sit-ups here and there, did a few squats and wall sits, but very, very far in between. Like, I'm surprised I didn't get any more out of shape. So, recently I decided, hey, I've been stuck at home for 2 years doing minimum workouts, occasionally walking, occasionally hiking, occasionally doing push-ups and burpees and all that. Maybe it'd be better for me, better for my body, better for my brain if I were to do something more, physically demanding. So I decided, what do I like? Well, let's see. The reason why I don't do push-ups and sit-ups every single day, like ritually, because I get bored. I just find it kind of boring sitting there for like, sitting there for 5, 10 minutes at a time, just doing push-ups or sit-ups or whatever have you. This video was meant to just be me talking, but apparently I, I I've done this before. I mean, I haven't played Minecraft in like months, but still. I can't do this. Oh my god. Jeez, okay, that took way too long. Okay. Damn, I don't play Minecraft for just a little bit, and then boom, I'm suddenly just the worst man alive. Anyways, yeah. So, as I was saying, I decided to do jujitsu because I originally want to do something grappling based, because again, I did taekwondo as a kid, so, maybe I should have probably done kickboxing, because, I might have had a slightly bit more knowledge for that, just because I did it at least for a few years, even if though I was a kid and probably didn't do it well, I would know a bit better when it comes to the punching and kicking aspects of stuff. But I didn't do it because, I decided I want to do something else. So that's why I decided to do Jiu-Jitsu. This is map. So Jiu-Jitsu, well, I want to do any grappling-based thing, so judo or wrestling or whatever. But the closest gym near me was an sort of MMA gym that teaches Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. So I decided, why not join that gym and try it out. I was a bit nervous because, I was very unathletic. Still very am unathletic. I've only taken 4 classes. I'm still not very much better. And I was kind of worried because I was like, oh man, what if I'm just so bad at this and completely clueless? And, I'm also kind of introverted and socially inept, so that didn't help things much at all either. But nevertheless, I went to the place, I emailed the guy. Didn't help that the guy or the company or the people, whoever's responsible with emails, took a real long time to reply to me. Like it was like several days, like the day, basically the day um after I finished my first jujitsu class was when the guy actually replied to my first email, which not great. But nevertheless, they still, blah, blah, blah. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, basically, so I was very nervous, but then I joined the jiu-jitsu class anyways because, man up or whatever, toughen up. It's not that bad. Uh, you're just there to learn. They're not gonna haze you or something, right? Probably not. Hopefully not. So yeah, I joined the jiu-jitsu class my first day there, and so it's actually kind of embarrassing because well, the timetable, at least online, their timetable, I came in around 45 minutes or too early. They had like a profit, and the 45 minutes early because the timetable said they were at jujitsu started at X amount of time, so I arrived at X amount of time. But that class apparently was for the very experienced jujitsu guys. And by very experienced, I mean the guys who are training in MMA hybrid. So, me, a guy who's got no experience, occasionally watches the MMA. Yeah, so, me, here I am, Chucks McGee, um, old Dillweed over here coming in, uh, arriving 45 minutes early, watching. So I sat there inside the gym, for 45 minutes, just staring at these giant muscular men practicing their MMA style jujitsu, groundwork. So, that was interesting. Uh, so what? And then yeah, but anyways, the guy who was running the gym, or at least the jujitsu guy running the jujitsu gym. 'Cause there's also a Muay Thai dude, a couple of Muay Thai teachers, but they were teaching Muay Thai, so I don't know who they are because I'm not learning Muay Thai. He was pretty well, not intimidating. He was a very kind man, but my God, was he as wide as he was tall. And to be fair, he wasn't the tallest man around. He was not a 6'4" monster, but he was still average height and so goddamn wide. Those shoulders, Jesus, I don't know. Could you ever make him tap out with like an arm bar? I don't think so. I think those shoulders just would refuse to move. Those boulder shoulders would just refuse to give. But anyways, yeah. So he was big, but he was a very kind man, gentleman, a gentle giant, I suppose. Especially to me. To me, I guess, because I was much smaller. He introduced me and went like, "Hey, just wait 45 minutes, and then we'll have the actual white belts training. A bunch of white belts come in, and yeah, we'll get you in to learn jujitsu and all that." And yeah, so then slowly over the course of the 45 minutes, a bunch of like regular white belt jujitsu people became pouring in. Students came pouring in, and first thing I noticed was that I was the smallest person in the whole goddamn class. Smaller than even the women. Even the women were taller than me. Even women were heavier than me. And that's not to say that, they were out of shape or anything, because, obviously not. These guys have been doing martial arts for months. They're decently athletic, I would say, probably. It's the fact that, I am a tiny breadstick man. I am as thin as a piece of yarn, a string of yarn. I weigh as much as a string of yarn. Anyways, I've accepted the fact that I am just a tiny man. I've accepted that. I'm not going to grow any bigger. I'm too old to grow up any bigger. I might be able to gain some weight, but you know, height-wise, I'm just short, perpetually short. And you know what? I've accepted that. But yeah, anyways, back to the main point. Or before I talk into these tangents, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. Anyways, I was just going to talk about like my experience so far with martial arts. But the fact that I ramble and lose track of thoughts and go on tangents, who knows? This might be a million years long. Yeah. So the first class of jiu-jitsu, they gave me an old, kind of torn up gi because it's old and used, but you know, just for practice. First class jiu-jitsu, I basically just learned a few things, you know, how to get off a mount position, how to throw your opponent off, how to do like an arm drag or whatever. Very basic stuff. Pretty tiring because again, someone was sitting on you and you have to throw them off, and you know, if you get your technique wrong, uh, you know, you expend a lot of effort and the guy does not move. Even if you get it right, you still have to spend a lot of effort because the guy's sitting on you and everyone's heavier than me, everyone's bigger than me, and I'm a weak, piddly man-child. So, you know, everything was kind of difficult. But, you know, first class over, you know, I was a bit sore. The next day I was a bit sore, kind of not knowing much, but, you know, I was pretty happy. You know, I felt safe. It was a safe environment. I felt like I learned some stuff. I felt like the people there knew what they were doing. I feel like the people there were passionate. So I joined into the second class. On my second class, you know, I learned more about shrimping and break falls and okay, so funny story. So second class was when we started doing like a proper, like, well, I properly did like the warm up along with the rest of the class. I did like rolls, I did running, jogging, I did jogging around the gym mats. I did a little bit of break falling. I did some shrimping, practicing to just basic stuff you do to warm yourself up before like actually exercising. So, but the thing was, I was so out of shape, and still probably am out of shape, that after doing just the basic warm-up of running around a bit, doing some break falls, doing some shrimping, doing a few forward rolls, uh, I was gassed out. I was done. I felt nauseous. I felt like the breath was out of me, wind was out of me. I felt like I was gonna die. I don't know if anyone knew that I was feeling like that. I think I managed to, because it's by just standing still and saying nothing. Because as the professor was just giving a basic lesson of how to throw your opponent, how to do like the over-the-shoulder hip throw, shoulder throw, whatever it's called. There's a Japanese name to it. I'll have an image up aboard just have you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the omoplata. No, that's something else, I think. Oh yeah, I should mention before during the first class, the guy I was practicing all the moves with was, you know, pretty nice to me also, you know. He was decently experienced already and, you know, was actually pretty gentle with me and got me introduced to stuff. Then second class came in, I got paired up with this other dude. He was closer to my age. The first guy was kind of older, and this guy was roughly the same age as me for the second class, and he taught me, or not, he taught me, he did some basic sparring with me, not sparring, we practiced the basic lesson moves with me, and, you know, he was a bit tougher on me, evidently, probably because we're the same age range, and he wants me, and, you know, like, being a bit tougher and being a bit rougher makes me, you know, means that, you know, I have to try harder, and I have to have to do these, moves and positions properly. He won't just give it to me. That way, you know, the actual, you know, resistance makes my moves actually effective and makes me actually learn how to do jiu-jitsu properly, which is good. We basically just practice a little jiu-jitsu against each other, or yeah, and then I have to say, over the course of these two classes, my shoulder was kind of hurting because we did a lot of like those shoulder throws. We did a lot of like throwing a person off the mount and taking the mount position, which means just, you know, person's on top, you throw them off of you, and then you wound up on top. And as you throw them off, they have to roll over the shoulder. And also during the practice, I did a bunch of shoulder rolls. So at this point, my piddly little arm started to ache, and also my back kind of hurt. Also, my legs also hurt because I had to do a lot of lifting with my legs. and again, piddly man, everything hurt. My second class was over. Actually, after a few basic lessons, sorry, no, I'm very bad at storytelling, in case you haven't noticed too, as well. But yeah, uh, words. Yeah, after my second lesson, or after like practicing these moves, we then did actual like basic rolling, sparring, whatever you want to call it, practicing like actual resistance, two people trying to, tap each other out, try and choke each other out. Being on top, starting off was one person on the bottom, one person on top, and trying to get off, and then you get the other person um, off of them, and then trying to, choke them out or tap them out or whatever. Okay. And yeah, and needless to say, I was not very good at this, considering I had very next to no experience at all. So, this person just, how do I say this? Beat me. He just defeated me, basically. Um, Very handedly, just every time I tried something, I got thrown into armbar, I got thrown into triangle. Uh, he smothered me, just laid his body on top of me. But he also during this thing, this guy who was roughly my age, basically taught me a lot of stuff, like basically like how to make your opponent uncomfortable, how to make your opponent uncomfortable, how to like try and get out, how to do stuff like that. So it was actually very useful knowledge to have. After he, beat me up for like 10 minutes or so, stretched me around like a pretzel, I then was paired off to with someone else. This was a girl. This girl, like I said from last time, bigger than me, taller than me. Not that much taller, not that much bigger, but still bigger and taller than me. So basically, start off with her like, getting the advantage and like being on over top of me, and then I had to try to struggle and get out, which led to me getting thrown into an armbar and losing and having to tap out. It should also it's pretty cool getting thrown into these arm bars and triangle chokes. It's like because it's like you see because I watch MMA and I watch pro wrestling. Obviously, pro wrestling's fake and everything is scripted and everything. But I watch MMA. And it's just like people get thrown into arm bars or whatever, and just like wow, I wonder how that. But then like you see it on TV happen on TV, and you even see it on a movie sometimes too. You see it happen on TV, and you're like cool. But then when you actually get thrown, and you're like, oh my god. I can't do anything to resist against this. Like, wow, okay, that's cool. Yeah, wow, that's like, I just found it real cool. Maybe I shouldn't be finding someone, maybe I shouldn't find the fact that someone could snap my arm into several different tiny pieces. Very cool, but I did. And then I got switched up with another guy, who was much bigger than me. Uh, so at one point in time, I managed to get his head into like a headlock crank. I don't know what's it called, a headlock thing, and I tried to squeeze his head. Evidently, with my small noodle arms and his big human man head, I couldn't actually apply enough pressure to hurt him. And then he flipped me around. I think he rear naked choked me, armbarred me once. Did not triangle choke me, no. I think he rear naked choked me, and then yeah, uh, beat me twice. And he was also being very gentle because evidently he was much bigger than me. He did not press all his weight onto me because, otherwise that would have hurt me a lot more. And he was doing everything slow. So, yeah, that happened. So that was my second day. A bunch of people tapped me out a lot, and then I was very sad and bad. Or no, I wasn't sad. I was just like, I was actually more impressed the fact that, like, how effective those arm bars were. Uh, so yeah, and then came my third day of jujitsu. Uh, Third day, compared to my other days, were a lot to my at least this day two was a lot more lax in comparison. There wasn't. We did some basic lessons, learned a few more tricks on how to throw in like an arm bar or whatever, how to throw in like an arm bar and everything, how to throw a guy over, throw a guy, how to escape the mount again, just re-drilling the stuff we've been taught, because practice makes perfect. And then afterwards, again, we did a much more lighter like session of grappling session, a rolling session, where like we just tried to practice escaping the mount, escaping getting mounted, and trying to keep the mount on opponent. that was it. Nothing much to say other than that, you know. I just learned some stuff. I learned a few more things, got a little bit better at the stuff I was taught already. And then yeah, that was it. And then came my most recent jujitsu lesson or training session, whatever you want to call it. And this one was, you know, same thing. We learned a few more things. This time I learned a Kimura and I learned a knee bar, which was the basic knee bar, basic Kimura, which was pretty cool, you know. Uh, this time, I was practicing alongside a more, I think he was roughly the same amount of experience as I had, only a few classes, maybe even less. But he was still evidently, surprise, surprise, bigger than me, stronger than me. But this time, there was one singular person, who was part of this class who was actually smaller than me. There was this tiny, like, a girl who was like 5 foot nothing. Even I'm just saying nonsense, but I was just so happy. I was just basically what I'm saying is I was just so happy that I was not the smallest person in the class. Uh, for once. So yeah. But anyways, basically I practiced with this guy who I seemed to be a bit new to the jujitsu as well, roughly the same time as me. And then after this we did a couple of spar. Oh yeah, I should mention that. Yeah, again, remember my third class during the practicing of getting someone off, I learned a few new things. I got to know a couple of more of the students, I guess, is how you would call them, of the jiu-jitsu class. And then during the third day, I mean, the fourth day of jiu-jitsu, I did a little bit sparring for the last, like, half or so, and then, yeah, again, this time though, I should note that I did feel a lot more confident. I felt like ooh, my phone activated for whatever reason. I don't know. That was weird. Anyways, yeah, I felt a lot more confident. I felt like I knew a bit more what I was doing. I wasn't just sitting there or laying there as they had their way with me. That I was actually moving and being active, which was pretty cool. And I was like, oh, impressed that I've actually doing things now and reacting, which is good. But, you know, I am proud to say that I did manage to grab a single guy in a guillotine. This was after like 5 attempts on 2 different people. Uh, and each time, which shocks me that I actually got the guillotine eventually because my arms felt like lead afterwards. It felt like they had no strength left, like I lost all the muscle inside my arms trying to get that guillotine in, just squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and my arms just felt dead tired afterwards, just sapping all my strength, all 2 ounces of my muscle, trying to squeeze, the head of like the head and neck of my opponents. So yeah, after 5 attempts and 2 different guys, they kept escaping. But finally, I think it was probably fatigue of all this rolling around, all this grappling, that eventually the guy made a mistake and leaned forward and pressed all his weight on top of me, which, well, as I had him in the guillotine, which made it so that like he added more excess pressure onto the guillotine, so he was choking himself essentially with his added on weight, which meant that he was not having a good way, and eventually he had to tap out. And that was like my first proper, jiu-jitsu guillotine um, tap out. I have to say though, I am ashamed to admit that during this grappling session, which I got the guillotine on, I did try for an armbar a couple of times, failed both times. I know I got them in the position, got the arm there, but then I had my position slightly off, and they were able to twist their arm away in a position so I couldn't yank at it. Got a Kimura position a few times too, but again they managed to slip out of it. Got a guy in a rear naked choke position, but forgot to actually apply the rear naked choke, so he just slipped out of my arms. So that sucked. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed at failing at rear naked choke because like I had him. We were in a standing position. His back was to me. I had one arm around his neck. If I just put the other arm behind his head and clasped it tightly and hugged it still, he would have couldn't he could like, I would have gotten him. But instead, I panicked. I forgot how to do a rear naked choke, and he just escaped. So I was like, "Oh, that sucks." But yeah, but I did get the guillotine at least, so, you know, I'm learning. Yeah, basically, 4 classes, still very bad, but, you know, evidently better than when I started off, which, you know, is a given considering the fact that when I started off I had no knowledge, so I should have at least a little bit of knowledge. Oh my god, I suck at this jump. But yeah. Gee, okay, jeez, that took way too long. And I'm gonna fail this jump now, aren't I? Alright, no, okay, that's good. Okay, yeah, so anyways, oh, jeez, that took way too long. That took me like a minute or two. I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, I did, so there's my 4 classes of jiu-jitsu, you know, not great, not terrible, probably below average compared to other people, but, you know, what's important was I had fun doing jiu-jitsu, and I'm gonna keep doing jiu-jitsu. Funnily enough, I was supposed to do jiu-jitsu yesterday, but the class, during that day, there was like some sort of meeting or whatever, so, the jiu-jitsu class was canceled, so no jiu-jitsu that for, you know, yesterday. Oh well, that sucks. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing jujitsu because you know what, that's fun. And also, I should say that what am I? Bleh. My brain is completely paused. I've been completely confuddled. I should not be I should record myself in silence playing these games, and then I should talk over it because evidently doing the same. I cannot do the same it at the same time because I just pause as I go into deep concentration trying to get this stuff done properly. Uh, Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna keep doing jujitsu. It's fun, you know, it's a martial art. I mainly do it for exercise, you know, learn a bit of self-defense is also not useful, so you know, it's fun. I might do periodic updates of my journey of doing jujitsu, see where I go from here. You know, yeah, basically this video is just me I got time, I'm procrastinating because here's the thing. I've got this other YouTube video, or a video called Pokemon Edibility Tier List thing already recorded, and like I'm trying to edit it, and like I'm doing very few edits, basically just occasionally cutting. I'm just basically just cutting, basically. That's all I'm doing for that video because I live streamed it on my Twitch, which you can find on twitch.tv/thatcaptainbill or whatever. Um, I occasionally, very occasionally stream. By occasionally, I mean I've streamed once so far. I am planning to stream again soon, like today or tomorrow or the day after. But yeah, oh my god. I'm doing a Dead Space live stream. Maybe if you care about for it, you could go ahead and try and watch it for some fun. For just, or background noise, I mean, really. I posted this, also ideas for other videos that I'm planning to make and all that, and they're gonna be a bit more edited, a bit similar to like my, Ultimate Warrior video and my like, Genshin Impact video and maybe my video, stuff like that, more similar to there, like video essay commentary things, about like reviews and stuff. I'll be doing more of those soon-ish. I don't know how. Well, I say soon-ish. I'm planning on doing it. Eventually they'll occur. When, I don't know, but they will be occurring. What else? I plugged my Twitch stream. Oh, so yeah. Also, I've got a Patreon, and someone donated me to Patreon. Mocha-san. Uh, Mocha-san is my first ever Patreon. I know you may be wondering, hey, Captain Bill, or Bill, you suck. You're not very entertaining. Why in the world would someone ever donate money to watch your crappy Genshin Impact tier list video? It sucked. Like, it's terrible. It had like a 2-minute retention rate. Everyone hated it. Well, you see, they did not donate to me because of my YouTube video, or nor did they donate to me because of my singular Twitch stream, which has 4 views. I'm still not sure where the views came from. I don't know if it's just myself from like logging in, checking it out, or if someone actually was bored enough to watch one of my Twitch streams, but nevertheless, it's not from any of those. You see, I write a web novel. That's right, I've said it first. Feels dirty saying it, but I have a web novel that I've written. It's called Terrible Villain Faces Their Destiny, and it's hot garbage. It's probably alright. It's moderately popular, or by moderately popular, I mean it's minusculely popular. And by saying like people have read it, And people who have read it so far don't absolutely hate it, so it's good for my fragile ego. And this guy, apparently liked my work enough to donate money to see chapters in advance, which was pretty cool. And one of the things that I did for that my Patreon was that obviously early access to chapters, and if I make videos like YouTube videos like this, I'll shout them out. He donated me money, surprisingly, so I'm gonna, you know, keep my end of the bargain and mention him, even though he probably doesn't care, because all he cares about is reading the stuff I write, which is perfectly fair, because uh, yeah, I write apparently halfway decent stuff. Apparently, it's a surprise to me too. I know. Apparently, I've got a little bit of monochrome talent, but people seem to enjoy it enough to not hate it. So go ahead. Link in the description I'll have on one of the websites. I posted this story on like several different like web novel websites so people can read on. I'll link down to one of them, or actually I might link down to two of them just in case you like variety. Or you don't like one of the websites, you can choose the other website. But yeah, go ahead read that story. It's the story idea of the story is down in the description below. Go ahead if you want to go ahead and read it if you want to have read something. It's a web novel thing, and then I also have Twitch. Go ahead and check out my Twitch. Well, actually, my YouTube, the Twitch VOD I already posted onto my YouTube channel. But I might tweet out. I also have a Twitter, and I might tweet out when I go live on Twitch and stuff. So go ahead, follow that. What else? Uh, but yeah. Anyways, until then, just keep doing how you do. And then, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, help that YouTube algorithm. And hey, who knows? Eventually, I might even get monetized on YouTube. Probably not, but, I might. Uh, what else? Anything else? Nah, I think that's about it. So, yeah, as I continue playing this parkour map, you can go ahead and this video is going to end as I continue playing this parkour map. Remember, I've got I have a web series, a web novel series thing that you can watch. I got a live stream Twitch, and of course I got this old YouTube channel. Uh, Maybe I'll see you in one of those platforms, whether you read my story or you watch my or you watch me during streams or you watch another YouTube video. But until then, this is Captain Bill signing off. See ya.